to another City Skylines summer stream. My name is Jan, I'm the community ambassador for City Skylines here at Karystos Interactive. And it's time. It's time for another summer stream. The summer streams are back! We took a couple weeks vacation, we've had some technical difficulties, we've had people take vacations, so I got a little bit of a vacation as well. We're finishing off our city, or at least parts of our city. We've got this stream and another 3 streams to finish it off, I was told, before Maddie kicks us all off. We are doing a lightly modded stream, as we have been these past couple of weeks. We do have a workshop collection link that I am sure someone will find and post for you in chat. We are going to finish off the little bit of the top city today. So we'll finish off this bit of the top city today. Hopefully next stream we'll enter the lower part of the city and then just some decorations from there on. Let's get going. Let's get started. We've got an hour and a half today, which makes me very excited because I like having more time. Because I need more time. I always need more time. But hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. If you've got any questions, things you want to talk about, things you want to see, things you want to feel, feel free to ask at any time. Yeah. Let's get going. I'm actually excited because I've kind of missed these streams. I genuinely have. What is 24.9 Celsius in freedom units? 80 something, I think. About 80 something. I feel it's somewhere around there. Think it's somewhere around there. Yeah, must be somewhere around there. That's about as close as I can get with that answer, I'm afraid. I can barely do European units. What do you mean I can do? Do you think I can do freedom units as well? I'm only human. 76.82 says Fuzzy. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. I trust Fuzzy to have my back. What other exciting questions do you have for me? Let's go. Let's go. I'm very excited. I don't know why, but I've missed you guys. I have. I've genuinely missed you guys. How is everyone's summer? How has everyone's summer? I had a pretty decent summer. I stayed home and chilled. It was actually quite nice. Let everyone else have a summer vacation. I didn't take one this year. It still made me quite happy. Quite enjoyed it. Had a good time. Had a lot of food. Surprisingly lots of food. Not someone who likes eating a lot of food, but I ate way too much food. Oh, too much food. Too much food, chat. All right. So we're going to be placing a bunch of these buildings. I'm just going to quickly copy paste a bunch. What mods do we utilize? We are using, well, we're using a combination. So we've got everything from Move It to Propline to Tool, Propline Tool, some Anarchy mods. We're using a variety. We're using a variety. So it's no one specific mod, but we are using a variety because we have. I just felt like it when we were thinking about the series and creating the series, and I was creating the workshop collection. I decided to. We're using lightly modded, so if you subscribe to the collection, it should mostly work on everyone's computer. Then we should be anyone should be able to run this, even on very low basic settings. That was kind of the point of the entire collection, was that anyone could run it. So hopefully, if you do subscribe, and you do decide to play along, build your own city, you should be able to run it without any problems. That was the whole design behind it, because, like I said, I wanted everyone to be able to join in. And hopefully I managed to achieve that with this little collection. The collection is not very big, it's actually fairly small, but it has all the essential mods. Future updates, expansions, and just sequels will try to integrate some of the most popular mods into the game. I know I can't speak for the development team. I'm not in the development team. I'm a community ambassador. I'm here to chat with you guys. But I know that the development team is always looking at the workshop, looking at what's most popular, what can be added, what can't be added, while also not trying to infringe on the content creators themselves. I mean, they've already put all this work in. We don't want to take away from all the work they've done, right? So possibly yes. Can I guarantee it? No. What else? Carry on, chat. Carry on. I don't know why I decided that needed that, but I decided it does. Decided this needs a different back wall. Why? Who knows? Who knows why I decided anything? Is this Southern Europe style? Kind of, yeah. So we're going for a Mediterranean style build. So we're using a lot of Armesto's, like Italian assets, Lugo assets, kind of Galician assets. So yeah, so we're going with a kind of bit of a Croatian feel to it. Like Croatian, Southern Italy, or rather the Italian Riviera more than Southern Italy, things like that. I wanted to add something in here and I completely got derailed now. But yes, that's kind of the feel we were going for. Was that kind of Southern European, not necessarily village town, but, or not necessarily Croatian town, but kind of a relatively tight town. So that's kind of what we've been going for this entire the stream section. And like I said, we're using very basic mods, very minimal mods. So one of the reasons why we're doing that is because we want to be able to kind of showcase that, hey, you can do quite a bit with just minimal modding. So anyone's capable of doing anything in this game, and it's kind of amazing. You can build just about anything your heart desires with minimal need to mod the game. There are some mods that I personally consider essential that I don't think I could play without. But there's definitely possibility to do anything and everything with a minimal amount of actual mods. We want to do this. We want to round it off. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to continue it this way. I add a couple more of these in. And I kind of make it very dense over here. And the church went, you know. You like European style cities since they're compact and try to make all amenities within walking distance instead of using a car to go pretty much everywhere. Yeah, that's the thing. So European towns are are sort of unique in that way. A lot is because of how they developed. Is that you would have these small communities that would grow. So you would have bits here, bits there that would kind of come together. So that's partially how European towns started. You would have a village, you would have a little center, and then the village would, they would obviously there would be houses, but kind of you'd have these market squares where you had shops and various other amenities. So because they were already there, it then just kind of grew as the needs progressed. And then as the city grew, and as there was more and more population, you ended up with more and more these kind of clusters of population. While American cities are a lot more planned, obviously, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either. But it's different, right? Because it's a fresh colonization. We kind of already knew what people needed, what people would want. So when they were being constructed, it was a different approach. It's also a different. So public transport became a bigger deal during that time as well. So you kind of got more people being able to move slightly further distances to accommodate, so they didn't need to walk. I selected the wrong building there. Grid patterns are actually good. They are and they aren't. So grid patterns have a very unique place. The problem with grid patterns is that you can't fit everything in the area. Okay. I think I'm kind of gonna leave it like that. I think that's gonna be the extent of the actual population buildings. And now we're just gonna kind of create I'm used words. I'm very good at them today. We were just talking before the stream, like words, they're hard today. So we're gonna create a bit of a not necessarily a keyed off area, but kind of nice little end here so that you kind of have that end to the town. And then thinking of this side, we might do a little bit of a park with some maybe a couple market stalls and then some parking. You're from Italy and this style reflects exactly your country. That's kind of the intention. Partially, part of the intent was kind of let's go for that kind of Italian Portofino style. So I'm very glad I managed to achieve that. It pleases me. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna move this out a little bit over here. We're gonna do this. Then this needs to go right up to here. I also need to get all these nodes in so that everything's the same height. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the node? It's always getting nodes to work correctly on this type of thing is always a joy. Let's make it a bit more narrow here, but make sure that it still kind of follows the path over there. Pulling an all-nighter. All-nighters are wonderful. I've done way too many of them in my life. It's just one of those things that ends up happening. Now, Chad, the question is, do we want to do a park over here? Or do we wanna do a not a park? What's a word for not a park? Like a more commercial cafe thing. Any train access from the outside? No, not at the moment. If we have time, we will do a train station on the last stream. But I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm gonna add a little add over there. You can do gardens with lakes. I mean, there isn't really enough space for lakes. We can probably get a small garden in, like a small type of garden type thing. Let's grab a path. How much space is there over here? There isn't that much space. We can do something. Potentially. Do prisons even have gardens? It's not a prison. What do you mean? Do prisons have gardens? Where are you finding a prison? There's no prison here. No, it's not. This is a church. None of this is a prison. Well, this is the city Skylines. Prison architect is afterwards. Can I provide a mod list? Nurgle got you. Nurgle got you. Yeah, no, we have a lot of variety. Do. Yeah, let's do a bit of a garden. I don't know. I feel like a bit of a garden. We need hedges. I need a hedge. Hedge. We do have lovely hedge bushes we can use. Can I use the dish? Lovely too. Can click Control so that we get full access to it. And then where's the other one? I need to make it, give them more. Nope, more bushes. There we go. Not that many more, but there we go. There we go. Now we have a nice kind of bush area. Quite easy with some. You can do benches with big trees and bushes. Yeah, I think we'll do this. So I think we'll do. We'll start us off with some kind of like an edge of bushes, and then we can add more stuff in as we feel. Honestly, plants are the easiest way to do things. So if you're relatively new to Skylines and you kind of want to make things look a little bit more filled and detailed, plants. Just add plants. Plants already make everything a little bit better. Okay, what kind of trees do we want to do? We could do, well, we could do a pine. Pines are very this part of Europe. So we can do some pines. Pines for some reason are very dominant in the Mediterranean. Oak might be a little bit too big. I think pine works better because it's a taller tree. Oaks are a bit too short and fat. There we go. And you already got an area that's a lot more detailed than it was. It already looks better, and it takes less than 5 minutes. Maddie on vacation? Maddie is not on vacation. She's gonna be doing prison architects after we're done in about an hour. However, we got a couple more summer streams coming in. What part of Europe is this? Italy or Spain? Whichever you want. It's some sort of like southern Mediterranean European town. So whichever you want it to be. It can be whichever you want. What's going on over here? What's happening over here? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's happening? What's going on? A bit more of a bird side. Why is there a hole? What? Causing this hole. This is quite an interesting issue. Got a bit of a what feels like a sinkhole over here. That is very strange. Yo, bro. How do you head to? Can you simply do a village? So this is a series. So we are gonna finish off this series, and then after that we'll see. Hide it with trees, maybe. Maybe. I'm thinking we're probably gonna use a terraforming tool network for it. Because we do have the terraform network available. So we'll probably just end up using that, and then so that we can kind of level it out. When you encounter a weird terrain problem, you cover it with trees. Hey, trees are the saviors. Then again, you're a vanilla player. Yeah, but trees make everything better. When in doubt, place some trees. Or if you're mad, you panic, place trees everywhere. But I do have the terraforming network, so instead I'm going to grab this and just kind of shove it. I'm gonna raise it up to that. It doesn't want what? This is the weirdest problem I've encountered so far in this game. I think it. Oh, it was there. Okay, let's get this up a little bit, and that'll fix it. It was the key on the other side. Add a water fountain. We can add a water fountain. I have nothing against water fountains. I'll add it right here in the middle. I don't know what manner of fountains we have, but we'll find a water fountain. That is huge. I'll find a smaller one probably. Yeah, this one will do. And I know I have some market stalls, so let's just do market stalls. Do I have any pre-made ones? Because I also don't feel like making them. Hello, Sandra T. I have some of these flour. Let me do it the other way. Let's search for stall. See if we can't find any. I'll just use these for now. It's not exactly the best, but we'll use them as a base, and then we can always add and hide things around. It's just so there's like a little market area. Doesn't necessarily have to be pretty or too big, but just so that there's something. Life in a European city is basically like living in the exact same building. Not entirely sure what you mean by that. But I'll take it. Is there a town hall? Not really. We didn't really go for town halls. Where's the pine we used? There's a couple more around here. Yeah. Maybe this one wasn't exactly the best positioned one. Town hall. I'll buy something right down the street. You mean in that regard, everything's very close. Yeah. We don't really have a town hall. I guess if we had to pick a building for a town hall, it would probably be in this building. But we don't really have a town hall building. We didn't designate a town hall building. But yeah, that one probably. If we had to pick. Out of all the buildings around here. Probably this one. Makes the most sense. Probably. Or this one. Hello, you're from Portugal. Welcome aboard. Console players left behind. Console players are never left behind. We do our best to make sure that everyone has a good time and that everyone has access to everything, but there are certain limitations on consoles that we cannot, or the team cannot, work over. And for that, we do apologize. That's not what I wanted to do. Hello. You can do another fountain with benches and bushes. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Right now, I am very much focused on getting this area done so that it looks relatively neat. This is not gonna fit well in here. Is it? No. And it's because this node is not a flat node, or is not a sloped node. Which, do I have node controller? I do have node controller. There should be a node here. Come on. Pick the node. Select the node. Node controller. Come on. Okay. No. You've added a node. There we go. Building a hotel in the city. There's no real hotels in I don't think I've ever really encountered a specially built hotel. At all. Big! Now next-gen consoles are out, what's the future for them? I don't have an answer to that question, I'm afraid. Sorry. It would probably blend into the city, yeah. Probably. It's usually what happens, they kind of blend in. Raise this a little bit up. There we go. We kind of have that. We like city skylines. Good. Everyone should. City skylines is amazing. I'm just gonna kind of loop these around over here. Kind of add a little bit of definition to the area. Gonna create an edge. Thank you. I try my best. I try to please. Then you can do a museum. I mean, again, something that would more or less just fit into one of the existing buildings. These dense European cities don't tend to really have special build buildings. That really depends on the hotel you're in, I would say, Vent. So Vent says that all European hotels don't have elevators. Nicest room are usually at ground level, not above. But yeah, no, that entirely depends on the hotel you're in. And which part of Europe you're in. So yes, but also no. I mean, it entirely depends on when it was built, obviously, but yes and also no. Next, don't pet me. Don't touch me. Reminds you of the cities in Just Cause 3. Wasn't Just Cause 3 was kind of based on this? Like, was kind of based on an old European style town, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. It looks so good. Thank you. It's gonna. Goddamn burst sizes. Why you gotta do me like this? I'm gonna put a parking meter or two up here. There we go. Just to kind of hide it off. It's set in the Mediterranean, yeah. So it's kind of. Mediterranean is a very funny place when it comes to cities because obviously a lot of them are kind of very Italian-esque. Statue, maybe. I haven't decided really. But I don't know. I'm really into hedges today. I don't know why. The hedges are just they're my bay. I never thought I would use the word bay. But here we are. I have this strange fascination with hedges lately. I was doing some completely unrelated Googling. And there's so many hedges around the world. And the knight statue, if I have a knight statue would fit in. If people would interact with markets. So yes, and we do have that ability with crap. I think it was with which one was it? I think it was Green Cities. There is a market. But I don't remember what they're called. the buildings themselves right now. There were market stalls. That you could add in, but I don't remember what they're called. I know they were like low density growable, I think. But I don't remember. I also might just not have green cities. Can you do how to get mods from Steam, please? And then upload to the game. It's fairly simple. I mean, it's you open the Steam Workshop and find the mods you want and click subscribe, and it auto downloads. I'm gonna add this medical clinic right over here at the beginning. This kind of area. I don't know why, but I feel like it fits. It fits kind of over here. It wasn't supposed to, but we ended up putting it over there, so. Okay, so we did a bit of this kind of foliaging already around various parts of town over here. And I quite like it. I think it looks quite nice. So we're gonna steal some that I've done over here. And just continue using it down the line. And it's simple copy pasting and some rotating to kind of make it fit to wherever we need it to fit. And that's it. I'm not gonna do any down here because it would get killed by the sea as waves came in and tides and such, but yeah. It's just, for a bunch of these areas it kind of works. So it's just once you get something that you really like and it works really well, you don't need to change it. Just copy paste it. And I'm trying to use the natural features, so we're doing a lot of this stuff. I keep saying like, and I hate myself for it. But just using the natural features. So wherever I see kind of grass on these cliffs, that's where bushes would be. They wouldn't be where there's no grass or there's no soil because it's been washed off because it's so steep. But it kind of creates a little bit of an added feature, I feel. And still a bit more over here. Bit more over here and a little bit over yonder. Like so. Grab a tree, place down a tree or two. Trees are one of those things that is surprisingly resilient, so hopefully this wouldn't be a nightmare car dependent place. No, so vehicles are actually banned in most of the city except for like service vehicles, which are necessary. But otherwise I've banned vehicles in most of the city. Pine. So we don't really have many I was gonna say we don't have many vehicles. That's what I was gonna say, and then my brain just died for a second. There we go. Kind of just filling out these areas. Obviously, it's on the other side of the wall, so nobody takes care of it because that's the way things work in most of the towns. The city's like, oh, it's over there. It's not our problem. And then over here, I'm just gonna add it in as a feature. So it kind of creates that feel of it. And I add in a couple of these pines. Maybe put in a tall pine or two. Just kind of create a little bit of a enclosed space. Don't really want to do much over here. I'm just gonna grab grass, which I think I have some like brownish, larger patches of grass. At least I thought I got some larger patches of grass. Turns out all I got was small patches of grass. I'm gonna just lob them in. Doesn't really have to be very fitting or anything like that. It just needs a bit of something. The city looks quiet. Yes, it kind of does, and I've noticed that, and I think it might be one of the mods we're using, but I haven't figured out which one yet. Haven't had a chance. Looks quiet and peaceful. Yeah, it does. I like quiet and peaceful. That's why we're doing kind of quiet and peaceful. I don't like busy metropolises. This is kind of what I would call my favorite, like a favorite type of vacation spot. Is just not the there's just cars over there. Something went wrong. They're banned, but they're still going there. Oh. Did this basses. Actually, one of I know what's causing a lot of the issues up here is the fact that we did ban some commercial vehicles. So we're gonna need to do a little bit of vehicle unbanning around the city. Because I only banned them in this kind of starting an area so that they don't spawn. We're just gonna quickly let in commercial vehicles. It's why the city's a little bit empty, because the businesses aren't really able to resupply at the moment. I didn't think about that. There we go. I think that's all that I did. There is some civilians driving around, because of course they are. And there always will be. Because they're asshats. That's all they do. Yeah, European cities have this weird, especially these kind of Mediterranean cities. Usually you don't get a lot of vehicles in them. You might get the occasional truck that drives by. Or what you will get is mopeds. Lots and lots of mopeds. But you don't really get anything else. Because it also just doesn't make sense. It's not the way European cities were built. It's not the way they were designed. The roads tend to be very narrow, very unfilling. You can't really fit that much into them. They're very narrow. You can't really have multi-lane traffic, and even if you can, it's usually a very, very kind of tight road, and you almost bump into each other. So it's not very useful. So those of you that don't really use mods, I'm using Traffic Manager, President Edition, to kind of ban what can and cannot go on our roads. I can specify specific vehicles, so civilian vehicles, so cars, buses, and taxis, for example, can't go on these roads. But we're allowing commercial, so that those of these buildings that are commercial are able to get resupplied. We're obviously allowing garbage and emergency vehicles, because otherwise all our people would be dead. There we go. I think I got all the roads now. I think. Medieval village. So sort of. So the idea was that it's one of those fortified towns that would monitor a trade route. Slowly developed and became more dense, and so you still have these remnants of like the city wall that pop up. The buildings were kind of just built on top of, which I find really fascinating, and it's something that the town I vacation in has, and I kind of took inspiration from that. I just find it fascinating that something like that does happen. One of the problems with this is that also everyone has to come in through here, which I think it just doesn't like it. I think it just doesn't like this connection type, so that's out of city limits. Let me replace this connection over here. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can get a few more people in. It can get quite finicky in the way it likes to do things. So hopefully that brings in a couple more people. It is quite far away. They do have to traverse around quite a large section of the map to get to where they need to be. But yeah, we got kind of this whole town, which we actually completed faster today than I anticipated. So what we're going to do is we're gonna go buildings and props, because this is all buildings and props. Select it, copy it. And we're gonna add a little bit down here, into this part of town. I'm going to click follow terrain, just so that they are. Well, I was gonna say just so that they are of the correct height, but they've decided not to be. Which I find fascinating. Really? Okay, I'm gonna manually move it down then. Manually move it. There we go. Just gonna do that. Then we have like a little bit of a commercial sitting area over here. And I'm going to take, because I was smart-ish, so I went and grabbed Groonies, which I think is spelled with a Y, buildings. So we do have these smaller restaurant buildings, things like that, which are specifically designed to go inside other buildings. So road bikes are for sport. Yeah, I agree. Road bikes have always been for sport now. There's people. Yeah, we have these Groonies buildings, which we're just gonna add in. You love the mixed-use buildings? Yes, it's one of the staples of Europe, I feel. Like going very mixed use. Ooh, pardon me. I want to do a restaurant, but I want to do it in like a really weird spot. You know how sometimes you'll walk through a European town and suddenly you'll be like, there's a restaurant here? Where did that come from? I want that. Or people will be like, oh, you have to go to this restaurant. It's really, really good. And it'll just be in a weird alleyway. And you'll be like, are we sure this is right? Feels kind of sketchy. And then you get there. And it's like, oh, this is actually really. Those are my favorite. Looks lively. It looks empty to me. I want to see more people in it. And we're starting to get some, so that's good. But it still feels a little bit empty to me. I don't know why. We can speed up time. See if more people arrive. Oh, there we go. The commercial buildings are now actually getting resupplied, so. I can't see anyone else's chat, but the city is amazing. So we're also streaming on YouTube. So I'm also kind of reading YouTube chat at the same time. So it's not really that you can't see chat, it's just a different chat. There we go. Buildings are starting to level up. Things are starting to get going, so it's gonna hopefully fill up a little bit. Is this Italy? If you want it to be. It can be anything you want it to be. How about that? I do want to have more healthcare, but we also don't have the I don't really have the I didn't grab any healthcare buildings. For some reason, I just didn't. And so we have no real healthcare places. YouTube chat seems more alive. YouTube chat is very alive today. Usually it's Twitch chat that's more alive, but today it's YouTube chat. So I'm gonna do. Let's do a like a little cemetery on top of a hill. Like I can't. It's not really a proper cemetery, but it'll work. I might replace that little church in it with something a little bit more appropriate. But yeah, YouTube chat is very lively today. Art school. We could do an art school. Art schools aren't really that popular here. But yeah. So this instead. And now I'm gonna grab a church that's more appropriate. Maybe not one that's so big. But then again, it also does need to be kind of big, so I can actually hide the other one in it. Grab this one. Like it isn't really a good. It isn't a good graveyard. No, it'll do. It'll do. I'm just gonna take this. I'm just gonna hide this other church in it. Actually, I'm gonna convert it to PO. Which I can already see Ernesto hating me. We're gonna click edit. And not position. We're just gonna scale it. We're just gonna scale it up a bit. So that I can actually hide the other church in it. There we go. And that works. Gonna grab PO. Gonna grab this PO church. Just. How do people become so few? You still like Twitch more to chat? Hey, you can chat on Twitch, you can chat on YouTube, you can chat anywhere. I will read all of them. Doubt. Nurgle. Come on. Weird chapel. It's only weird because I made it weird. Good, so you do it there. Good. I like reading chat. My favorite one, probably my favorite part of these streams. Yeah, Nurgle, what's your favorite food? Tell us, Nurgle. Tell us what your favorite food is. No windows. It's actually pretty. I mean, it's kind of standard, to be fair. Some of these smaller stone churches don't really tend to have windows. But yeah, we now have a working cemetery. Okay, let's grab some of this foliage we did over here. Just grab a large chunk of it. I'm just gonna kind of fill this area out a little bit with foliage. I mean, not all of it, but kind of give it a bit more of a more of a feel. Is there a what is it? Why is there a road? They're having a very weird conversation about food now in the Twitch chat. For those of you that aren't following the Twitch chat, I don't know how we came to food, but food is good. Weird, he says. Listen, it is weird because you've decided to have it. It's not weird because it's a food chat. It's weird because you've decided to have a food chat. It looks like the church from the Nun movie. It's actually a church from Galicia. It has some vineyards installed, could fit in here. I don't think I did any vineyards. No, we did not. I didn't grab any vineyards. What's the traditional dish in the city? Probably be some form of a. I don't know. Something, some form of a some form of fish-based dish. I would say, if I had to guess, it'd be some sort of a fish-based deal. I don't know. I'm not a Mediterranean food expert. Actually, I'm quite bad at Mediterranean foods because I don't like fish. Fish fingers. Why be fish fingers? You're both on Twitch and YouTube. This is weird. Yeah, it does get a little bit weird when you do that. Pasta with pesto. Pesto pasta? Could be. Could be a pasta dish. I mean, so a lot of these Mediterranean Dalmatian kind of Adriatic towns were under, at some point or other, under Italian rule. So there's quite a bit of like Italian influence in food. Could be some sort of a pasta with pesto. Who knows? Andreas on YouTube says that Chinese food is the best. Fish pesto. I mean, it could be. What do I know? Do I look like an expert? I'm barely an expert in my own life. And even that I'm not an expert in. Chinese food is better. I like Chinese food, but not very often. Chinese food is more of a... To me, it's always been more of a treat than anything else. Treat yourself to some Chinese. Not necessarily just have it all the time. But that's just because I'm European and Chinese food is exotic. And we don't do a lot of it. At least not this part of the world where I'm from. So when I subscribe to the items, then what you need to do, Steam will download them, and you just need to load up the game. For the mods, you'll need to go into Content Manager, under Mods, and enable them. Anything else that's just assets will auto-enable. This is getting too green for a Mediterranean town. And that was not my intent. But I also kind of like it. What do we think, chat? Pasta made out of fish meal? No. Then that's not pasta then. I feel like it's getting too green. I'm just gonna select a bunch of random stuff in between. I'm just gonna clean up a bit. Nothing wrong with some greens. Yeah, but we're good. Going for a very Mediterranean feel, so I guess that kind of is something wrong with all the greens. Set it on fire. No, we're not. We're not. This is not an arsonist stream. Realism for a medieval. I mean, we're not really going for a medieval town. We're just kind of going in between. Kind of like, yeah. Rocks. Sure, let's do rocks. Rock. We have a lot of rocks. Maddie would say more trees. That is true. She would. But then again, I wouldn't. Let's do some vanilla rocks. Some of these vanilla rocks are actually really, really nice. The only problem is that they're so big. A lot of them are very big. So it kind of makes it hard to incorporate. A villa would fit in there. Some rich people places. True. But down with the bourgeoisie, you know. Hello, Cuboid. Good morning. Because I know you just woke up. No. You know what this place needs? You know what we need? I know what we need. We're gonna do a bit more. That is not when you say brush strength 22, that is not what you mean. That is... Huh. You know what? Yeah, you know what? You've been awake for hours. How are you counting these hours, Keyboard? I'll add a little bit of like drier patches in. And that'll make it look a bit more diverse. There we go. That looks a bit better. Can anyone point me to a building? The damn tutorial, I always mess those up. Do you want the honest truth? So do I. Perpetually. Some cactus. I don't really have cactus. Gotta pretend to take your father to the hospital because you're a good boy. And he's all right. That is good to hear. Yeah, I don't really have any like cactus bushes, and anything I have that's a bit more pointy in nature is relatively small. So now we got this kind of. Let's see how much we can do over here before we kind of enter this lower part of town. I don't really want to do a huge amount. And it's not really gonna have a lot of things, but just might drop some rocks in and some foliage kind of deal. Maybe do like an outlook rock right there. Yeah, this part particularly, I was going to leave empty, so the plan was always for it to be empty. Just how empty is the question. That is way too big. All these rocks are so big. We can't have rocks that big. These are concrete rocks. Then we got really tiny rocks. I need tiny rocks. I need large amounts of rocks. To Papa next one's wrong cuboid. Oh dear lord. Maybe a Saturn rocket. The chirpy rocket. Why? Nobody knows. It'd be one of those talking points. Like, why is there a rocket over there? Oh, it just is. It's always been this way. Yeah. See, all of these are so big. Why are they so big? I do not like them so big. Just do some of the smaller ones. There we go. Scale the big ones down. I don't have the energy. It's too much. You're asking too much. It's also... It's not necessary. Or not particularly necessary. I'm sorry, you'll be quiet now. No, no, no. You don't have to be quiet. Your suggestions are very good. I'm just saying, I don't... We have enough different rocks and we can do enough to conceal parts of them with foliage that I don't feel the need to necessarily scale them down. Plus, some of them might be very difficult to scale down. They tend to not like PO because they're terrain conforming, so it can get a bit difficult to scale. This is not a tree. Is it a prop? Why is that a prop? But yeah, some of they get a little bit harder to. Oh, here's the tree version. They get a little bit harder to scale. You can't really use PO on them, because like I said, some of them just do not. They're terrain conforming, so anything that's terrain conforming, PO procedural objects tends not to like. So you kind of can't do much with them. I mean, you can. So you kind of have to sometimes just hide them inside foliage and put trees and bushes on top of them, and then you just kind of hide the fact that the rock is that shape. Or that there's pieces of rock there. So it's very finicky, but these are the small tips and tricks. I guess I have the tree and vehicle props mod. Probably. I think it's in here. Like I said, it's a very large collection of mods and that we're using. So probably. It's the there's a these are the clusters. There we go. Again, I used the prop version. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it. Because it looks like these are all converted to props now. We'll do little clusters around. We'll do a bit of like clustery foliage around these. Not gonna do it as dense as we did up there. But still do some like clusters here and there. Just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. I'm using a lot of plants that have flowers in them, which isn't necessarily something that we see a lot of. Right, back to pines. Let's do some more pine. Generated. Where's the there's the non-prop version. So yes, Cuboid, I do have it. I've just found it. And then let's do like a couple of really tall pines in here. And like a very random formation. Not really set in a specific pattern. Just kind of randomly placed around. Add animals. I don't really have any animals to add. This is becoming a lot greener than I anticipated. But at the same time, I'm kind of okay with it. So let's just keep going. Maybe we can find. Maybe we can change the grass texture to something a bit more dry looking. No. This is purely coastal, which I don't like. This one. This one looks about right. I always hit escape, and it brings up the menu. It looks so good with all this green. Yeah, but it was starting to feel a bit too green. Now it almost feels a little bit American with this map theme. Let's just go back to Springwood. There we go. I guess it does have a certain charm of its own. When was the last time I saved? Also morning. Auto saves are on, so every 10 minutes. 10, 15 minutes, I think it saves. I want to do a lighthouse. Let's find a lighthouse. Find a lighthouse. I was hoping I might have a larger lighthouse. This one will be heavy PO. So we want to scale it, not stretch it. Scale it. I forget how this works. Broken Castle makes view better. Yeah, yes and no. I don't really like. We don't have any good like castle assets that I have. None that would make sense in a situation like this. I got a thick boy lighthouse. Move it down a bit. But then name this mode. We're using procedural objects there to increase the size of this. Or change change its properties a bit. I'm just gonna make this a very rocky outcrop. There we go. And then we can add a little bit of foliage in, just to give it a little bit of a look of life, but not too much. Just kind of near the top of it. Hello, Mr. Nowhere Man. You are nowhere. You are here. Give it like a A little bit. Little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. And then we're gonna do one sad pine tree. Like just one very sad one over here. I think that looks good. How do you spell pear? I can never spell pear correctly. Don't like that one. There is a prop. There's like a ruined dock that I quite like using, but obviously now I'm not gonna find it when I need it. These are CN peers. Let's see if I can find it on the ruin. No. Yeah, we'll use this one. That you need to leave now. It was lovely to have you coming in. You are welcome back anytime. I hate this. I know there's a wooden, like a ruined wooden dock thing. I don't remember what it's called. Don't remember what it's called. But I know there is one. But I will never be able to find it now that I need it. But there is one. Do you guys ever work on Nation City? As much as I would love to say yes, I don't have enough knowledge of Asian cities to be able to do something like that. They're not my forte. I genuinely just don't have enough knowledge about them. Otherwise, maybe? I'm gonna look through these, but I'm gonna find this goddamn pier. It's the last thing I do. Maybe we just don't have it. But yes, I would love to work on a Asian city. I just, like I said, don't have enough knowledge of it to be able to do it. I'm afraid. But maybe one day if circumstances change and I'm able to discover more and learn more and explore the idea a bit more, then yeah. But right now, like I said, I don't know enough. So I'll leave it to the our lovely Asian asset creators. They are much more capable of it than I am. What is it with this city and weird ass nodes? Just make it a bit nicer. This one down a little bit as well. There we go. It just kind of adds this area. Yeah, next. Do you ever not play Minecraft? Do you play any other games than this Minecraft? Next. Do you ever play anything but Minecraft? When are you gonna play City Skylines? You should play City Skylines more often. The road leading to the town looks fun. Oh, the road leading to the town is it's a trip. It's definitely a trip. We just kind of place one so that we could get it going. But I didn't really think about it. It's just there. Where's the old harbor? Such a city would have one down here. Yeah, we're ignoring that road. That road does not exist. But we have kind of like this old city harbor. It's not really a harbor, but you like the wild undergrowth. I'm doing my best. But we kind of have this old harbor with like a bit of a break wall. So next week we're going to build like the smaller village down here, and we'll make a bit more sense. Do you have an asset pack with all your assets for this town? Yes, we do have a workshop collection link. Someone will paste it for you. Someone will paste it for you. I don't know who's been pasting them so far, but someone will get that for you. We do have a collection with all the mods and assets that we're using for this series, which will continue next week. So we're going to add a bit more. Adding a bit more. So we're shifting focus from the upper town to the lower town now. I just felt the need to weirdly sneeze and yawn at the same time. So yeah, next week we'll move onwards from that. There we go. Cuboid's got you with the link. Only Naru has the power to post such a mighty collection. I think it's mods only. I think it might be mods. I'm afraid. Okay, if I PO this, I can still use it. It's just not gonna be a proper fountain. It still works. So we'll take it. Meaning to ask, is Jan a common name there? Because I only know it to be a Dutch name. Yes, Jan is a relatively common name. Mods have to post the mod collection. Yes. You enjoy us to stream on other channels too. I do not. Right now I'm doing the summer stream here on the Paradox channel, and hopefully I get the opportunity to do more after we're done with the series. We do have 2 more weeks coming up. Yeah, Noblak. That's a relatively famous name, yeah. And Noblak is a very famous name in ski jumping or skiing. Something, one of the winter sports. But he's a famous countryman from Slovenia, so I do know him. But yes, we are going to have to start wrapping up around here. It is the end of the City Skylines stream for this week. We did accomplish quite a bit. I am quite proud of what we have done. The map is in the collection, the save game is not. I will see you all of... He's a footballer? Oh yeah, something. A sports person of some description. We will see. I will see you again next week when we will continue with the lower town, kind of slowly starting to finish off this build that we've been starting for the summer to kind of supplement our regular programming while people took vacations. Hopefully I'll see you guys again next week. Make sure to follow us on our social media. It's City Skylines, just about everywhere. We post very regularly, and on Twitter we post daily, as well as Instagram, even Facebook. We post everywhere. We're omnipresent. So make sure to follow us there for more awesome content. If you are building along with us and you are using this collection and you build things, make sure to send us pictures, send us screenshots, send us videos, all of the above. I would love to see all of them. I genuinely would love to see them. So make sure to send us those on our social media. Coming up next, we have Prison Architect with Maddie and Nurgle. how many people will die today? Who knows? Join them in Prison Architect. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.